Hi Lakshmi, hi Shweta.
Hi, Ami.
Only two of you joined today. Let's count. Uh, okay. See, yesterday, like what we did was we had started off with the group by state, missing data, right? That how you can check for the missing data using the pandas library. So we were talking about that function that was drop NA and how you can replace the values. You can use fill NA. Now, today, what we do is we will be talking about grouping of the data, right? How you can do the grouping of the data using the pandas now. So for that, what we do over here is we will first of all import pandas as PD. Right, so this grouping is same, right? This grouping is same that we learned in SQL, right? The group by clause that we used to have. So what I can do over here is, suppose let's make a data over here. So I have a data. Let's use dictionary for that. So I make a dictionary over here. So I have a company, and the company names, like will store a list in it. Suppose I have a company Google, I have a company Apple, right? This way, Google, Apple. Microsoft. Then we have person, right? So person is, suppose we will put some different names over here. Okay. So these are different persons that we have. This will also be a list. And suppose we have the sales. Right, so this is what I have made. Now we will convert it into a data frame. So I'll share this over the chat. Right, so this is the data that we are having. So I'm going to convert into a data frame using the data.frame function. So let's make a df out of it, where I will say df equal to pandas dot data frame. We convert this into a data frame. Into it. Done. So once you make this data frame, right? So if you want to do the grouping, right? So how to do the grouping of the data is you simply say df dot, right, data frame dot group by, right? So you're going to say group by, and then what you do is you specify basis what you want to group your data. I want to group the data by company, right? So what it does is it creates that group by is just a generator function, right? What it does is basically it is going to create an object where it has understood that the grouping of the data has to be done on the basis of group by. So what we do is we save this group by in a variable. So suppose I am calling it as by company equals to this. So that means I'm saying that the data has to be grouped by company. So because when you do grouping, so what you do over there is you have to define, right? What do you want to extract? You want to extract the mean of sales, sum of sales, minimum of sales, or maximum of sales. So you will simply say by company, the grouping that you are doing, on that you would like to have, you would like to extract the mean. Suppose I will give you the average sales. That is telling you for each company what are the average sales that you have. Okay, you could have done it in one single step also. You could have said that okay, df dot group by, right? You want to group the data by company. Okay, dot to find the mean. If you want to find the sum, so you will write sum over there. Okay. So now like you all have an UK bank data file, right? You all have a UK bank data file. Suppose you want to load the data from a CSV file, right? So what you can do is you can simply say pandas dot read CSV, right? So we have a function called as read underscore CSV. This is a function which can actually help us to read the data from a CSV file. Read underscore CSV. You have to give the file path and the name. I can load it. Guys, I'll just give me 2 minutes. Let me just bring my charger. Let it just do. Yes. Sorry. Right. So read dot c. Did you try this? So basically, what we do is in this case, here, so we have this file with us. UK Bank. So this is the path where I have kept my file. So I'll put that up over here. We just have to change this to this. Right? You see the data has been read. And if you just make it as suppose data equal to this, so it will be saved in a variable. So this is how you can do it. Right. Suppose I want to group the data, right? So let's say data group equal to, I will say that we have this data frame with us. So what I can do is I will say this data dot group by. So I like to group the data by, suppose I'm saying I want to group the data by region. Okay. Now if you say this data that you have created dot first, you write dot first over here, it is going to give you initial few rows, right? So it just shows you this image for each of that, the the region, it shows you the first row, right? It's not doing the, it has not done any sum or something like that. It is saying for England, this is how the data looks like, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, because we have 4 regions. So it just shows the first row for each grouping that is going to happen right now. Okay. So this is what the group by statement is. If you want to get the data from a particular row, so what you will do in that case is you will say that data underscore gp dot get group, right? So you have one function that is get group. So what that get group does is you just have to give that name of the group. Suppose that is England, right? See, it gets the data for that group now, right? For that England region. So there are 2159 rows that you have in that.
Amit, I'm getting error while reading that CSV file.
Have you changed the path, this arrow?
Yeah, even though I've changed that, I got bigger error if I change that slash.
Okay. So do one thing, write this F over there, right? Just before that, write F,
Okay.
then run it and change it to normal path.
Like normal slashes. Still getting that error.
Just change the forward slash. Just change the slash to forward one.
Yeah, still getting the same. I mean, both cases I'm getting error.
No, can you share your screen for a second?
Yeah. Yeah, here I write there. I'm getting this error.
Can you try this one? Just use 2 slashes. Did you try that? Changing these to the
Yeah,
other slash?
here the forward slash I kept, but still I
See,
get this error.
oh, 1 second. See, the last is CSV. You're written CVS.
Oh,
The file name in the last dot CSV. Above one, above. The code in the previous line number 16.
this one, right?
Actually, that is because you're written CVS. That is what.
Yes.
Done?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amit.
Can you try this? And just and see, if you want to do the grouping at more than 2 levels, you can do that as well, right? So, like for example, the data that you have, right? If you say data dot group by, and you want to do the data by 2 levels, so you have to pass a list. Suppose you want to do the data by region, and you want to do it by suppose we have job classification, right? If you want to do this, so that can also be done, right? So you can group the data at 2 levels also if you want to do it.
Amit, the gate group is a function, right?
Yes, get group is a function.
So
Yes.
we should put a column name in that, not. Oh no, it's a
No,
field.
yeah. Get group is like the grouping that is done, right? Because this was a grouping part. So we had grouped the data. So from there we are extracting one group.
Okay.
You can also do like this, right? Suppose you have this over here. You can say data that underscore GB that we made this. I loaded it by the name of data. So I can say data dot group by, right? So when you're doing the grouping, suppose we did the grouping by region. Dot groups. That also. So it shows you the groups basically, right? That England, these are the row numbers that you have in that group. Northern Ireland, these are the rows that are coming inside that. Scotland, likewise.
This groups is giving how many regions are there in under the each region, how many rows are there, those information.
Yes, that row. Like length is that count of it, how many rows are there in that. So this is that length, data type it is telling you, and then it is telling you that what is that, I mean, to which rows are coming. So definitely can't show the whole number. So index number of each such row, which is coming under that group. Right now, for example, if you just pick this up from here, you want to find the mean, right? So it gives you the average of customer ID, age, balance, all the numeric fields that you have. It gives you the average of that.
If we want to get a particular column mean ID, like customer ID mean, so we need to give the customer ID.
You will pass the column names in that case. So which all columns you want to have it. So you will pass that. And if you want to have, suppose, multiple inputs as well, right? So sometimes it is said that, people want to see more than one output as well, right? So you can do that also. Like, for example, you can say simply the grouping that you have done. So let me just copy this over here. Okay, so you can use dot aggregate. Okay, now you have dot aggregate function. So over here, you can use numpy. So you have to import numpy as np. So you can say aggregate np dot from the numpy. Also, you can bring the sum numpy dot mean numpy dot standard deviation. Suppose you want to calculate all these things. Oh. Right. So for all the variables, you can see some mean standard deviation, some mean standard deviation, some mean standard deviation. All the three things have been calculated in one. So I could have used this. Okay. Now, if you want to say data dot group by, right? So you are grouping the data by region. Okay, and from there, you only want to find the sum or mean for one of the variables. Suppose that is age. You write age dot sum, right? So you get only age in this case now. If you say mean, you will get the mean of that age. Okay. Now, similarly, any questions up in here?
Is it like writing SQL queries inside this data frame?
Yes, yes, it is the same. Exactly the same thing. Like you also have an interesting function in this group by. So, for example, if you have this data dot group by, right? So you are saying you want to group the data by region. You have one function dot describe. So if you write describe on this, it gives you a lot more things. It will give you for each variable for customer ID. Maybe let me just show you it for one variable for a second, then we will see on the all also. So if you write describe, so it gives you count, average, standard deviation, minimum value, first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, and maximum value. This is all you get over here. You can transpose this as well if you want. Transpose. So the output get transposed like this. Okay. So just give me a second. Okay. See, now you know what we will do is we will be talking about how you can do the merging, joining, and concatenation of the data. Okay. So for example, what we will do is we will create some data frame. Suppose I create a data frame one, right? So you have pd dot data frame. So I can quickly make this out. Then there was one we already made, that was df. Okay, suppose this is one data frame that I have. What I do is I make another data frame. I make a data frame 2, and data frame 2 is, suppose I define that dictionary again, and in this I have again, right, you have this, you can say that, you have some company names, right? Now this time the company that you have is, suppose it is Amazon, right? You have Siemens. So these are two companies that you have, and for that company, the person is given to you. The person name is given. Suppose the person name is now GNH, right? And suppose then we have his sales. Okay, so we will say df2 is equals to pd dot data frame, that is so this is what we have the data now, right? So two data sets. So I'll share this out. Okay. So concatenation is, basically we have a feature of concatenation, right? So this is basically a feature. This is just put in. This is a feature to, glue the data frames together. This is what we have in this. So what I do over here is I simply say pandas dot concat. So we have this function concat, and you give the name of your data frames. One is df, another is df2. So if you run it, see the data will be combined one below the another. Okay. If you want to group this data together by column also, you can do that also, although which you never do it. And in this data set, it will not make any sense also. So if you say pd dot concat, right, and you say that you have this df and df2, you say x is equal to this one, that is column wise. So the things that combine column wise. Right. So this is like append data, right? Like append that we know. So this is just like an append.
Amit, for data frame 2, we should have same column name for concatenation, or we can have different column name also.
Same column.
Okay.
So it puts column below the column, just one below the other. For example, if we come over here, so let's change this. Let's call it as P1. Okay. So if I run this now and I convert it into a data frame. Okay. So if I now concatenate it, right? So if you see column name difference, so it adds a new column inside this. Okay. So it matches column to column.
Okay. Got it.
Yes. Okay. Yes, Lakshmi, it's like union all. It's a union all that you have. Right. So now what we do over is let us create data frames. So we will see how you can merge the data. See, merge is nothing. It is the join of the data. Joining the data. Okay, like left join, inner join, right join, all the joins that we have learned. Suppose let us make a data frame one, and let's call it as uh, df1 equal to, I'll create it. So we'll just keep simple. We'll keep it. Suppose I have the ID, and I am storing 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Then I am storing suppose the name of the candidate. Name is A. C. And D. Okay. We have data frame 2. In the data frame 2, suppose I have again the ID, right? I have ID as 1, 2, 3, 5. We maintain the age. Suppose age is 21, 24. Right, so I run this. So we will convert this. df1 is equals to pd dot data frame of df1, df2 equal to pd dot data frame df2. Okay, so these are two data frames, so I can probably share them also. What you do is, if you want to merge them, so you will use pd dot merge, pd dot merge. So when you're merging them, it's very simple. You say left, comma, oh sorry, the df1, comma df2. These are two data frames that you have, first and second. You just have to define your join. Which type of join do you want? Inner, left, right, all the joins will work. I say inner. You want to have an inner join, comma, you define on the basis of which column. So the common column is ID. You define that, and you see data has been joined. So it's as simple as that, creating a join. You just have to put your join type. If you want to make a left join, so you will write left. The first table is left, second is right. Okay. So this is, where I think I'll take a pause for now, right? So the things that we have seen over here. So what I'll do now is I'm going to share an assignment with you. Let me do that. So this is a good assignment, right? So this is all the things that we have done up till now. So it's based on that. Okay, so for this file, you will be requiring to use a data set, so which also I'm sharing up. Okay, so I've shared data set also. Now this data set is something you will have to use for doing this exercise based on pandas.
Amit,
Mhm.
how can I give a column name which is having spaces to find mean? Like I just copy one. So the first in the chat, that first appearance is my column, but that has space in between first and appearance. So how can I put that in?
So we did this, like we hand it over here. We were using it up in the group file. So you have something like this.
Not group by. This is not. It's just a simple data frame.
I mean, you just have to put that space only. That's it. You don't need to do anything. For example, you have this data frame one. You have DF one, right? So like we had this data that we made, right? So if from here you want to see or you want to pull only the column with the customer ID. So you just write it customer ID like this. It pulls customer ID for you. Just write it with the space. No problems with that. Right?
Okay. Yeah. I tried that. I'm getting error, but I'll try again. If I get error, I'll ask you tomorrow.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So I've shared the assignment, so please work on it and we'll discuss it tomorrow. And then we'll see some more operations on the pandas that we have. And then probably we'll start with the visualizations.
Okay.
Okay, thanks all.
Okay. Thank you, Amit. Yeah. Bye.
Okay.